Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this very simple top. You can make it in form of a crop top, you can make it like anyhow you want. You can even make it in form of a dress. You see this bodice I have here, if it was a dress bodice, it will still be the same method, but it's just because it's a half bodice that I'm working with here. But our focus is just going to be at the upper part of it. It's a halter neck top, right? So you see what I have here now. So my 3 inches neckline, all you have to do is just to go ahead and cut it off. So just your basic bodice. I initially had just 1 inch cut off here, but now I'm going to cut off the 3 inches for your basic neckline, right? And then after that, the next thing I'm going to do is just to go from this point here, and then I'm going to connect it to this point here. So I'm going to go from here and then connect it all the way to this point, right? So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and cut this off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I have the front bodice I need. So you need to have at least 0.25 at the top here before you start cutting. So by the shoulder, don't just cut it by the edge, like leave at least 0.25 there. So now the next thing I'm going to do is just to take it the way it is. Find my fabric folded into two, place this here and trace it out. So but I'm going to leave at least 1 inch by the end here to use to fold the edge of my clothes, because this is just my basic bodice pattern. So let me go ahead and cut this out. So guys, you see I left a few inches here to use as my seam allowance here to fold the end of my clothes. So the next thing I'm going to do is, because the back is going to be open, I'm going to mark a straight line across from this point here where my armhole stops, right? I'm going to just mark a straight line across here. Guys, in case you're wondering, like I said before, this is just a basic bodice and it's just my bust divided by 4. I added 1 inch here, and then remember I also have a dart for it here. So my bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch, my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches, 1 inch of darting, 1 inch of side seam allowance. Just your basic normal bodice is what I'm using to work with here. So I'm going to then turn this around this way, right? And then I'm going to fold this away. The only reason why I'm not using the fabric, the pepper itself, to trace the back panel is because I need to know how much I added at the bottom here for my seam allowance. So that's why I want to use both the pepper and the fabric. So now I'm going to fold it into two this way. Fold away this half length here. You see what I mean by folding it away. So now I'm going to take it, place it on this pepper so guys, now I'm going to go ahead and cut it straight across this way and then cut out the side too. So guys, this is what I'm working with here. So now let me release this so you guys will see. So you see, like I said, this is the back, this is the front. So now I'm going to just take it and separate, remove the pin, remove the pepper. So guys, you see what I was trying to tell you. So all I need to do for the back now is not, you see how short the front dart is, but for the back dart I'm going to take it up a little bit more, all the way to that half length, because this back here, you see the back stops actually at this line here. Remember we had extra 1.5 here for seam allowance, but the back is actually just going straight across somewhere here. So my dart at the back is just going to go from this line, is going to go all the way just to the top like this. That's how my dart back, the back dart will look, just all the way to the top. But you see the front one ended somewhere here, right? So now that is done, what I'm going to do, let me open it up so you guys will see. So this is going to basically be my back of the top, and then this one here is going to be the front of the top, you see. And now for the shoulder, I've done something like this before with a rope. But for this one, I want it to have a collar and have like a placket and have a collar. So I'm sure you guys must have seen a top like this online. So you can do this with just even less than 1 yard of fabric, right? And if you're working with a fabric that doesn't have a stretch, you can add a zip by the armhole. Instead of, if you don't know any other place to add your zip, you can always add a zip by the armhole to give you a fit, like if you want to do it with an Akara fabric, right? So it will give you like a tight fitting. Or you can even do the same thing, but just use a center. If you want, you can do a center zip by the back. It's just that you're going to have to add your seam allowance. But with the side zip, you can just use that your 1 inch of seam allowance for the side and use it as your side seam. Just insert the zipper there. So now for the front, since we said we want to add a placket, all I have to do is just to slit it open here. So it depends on you how far you want to come down. So I'm just going to come down all the way, like about, let's say 6 inches down. Guys, you know, you can even make it in such a way that you can slit it open down all the way to the end and make it button up, right? Add a placket to this side, add a placket to the other side. Like add a placket, slit it open all the way to the end, add one piece placket to this side, 1 piece placket to the other side, and then button it down all the way. But for me, I just want it to have like a placket instead of like all the way buttoned down. So this is what I'm working with now. So this is what it looks like here, something like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my fabric now, and then I'm going to form a placket for this neckline here. So guys, this is what it looks like at the moment. You see, I've gone ahead, put in my dart, put this one here and close up the side. I just use bias to fold this end here and then also turn over this end here. So guys, basically what I did here is just to join this cloth here and then split it open. And then the next thing you can do is, if you don't want it to have a placket, all you have to do is just to flip it in this way and sew it down. This is just to help you give this part here a clean finish. So if you turn it in this way now, you can just go ahead and make a stitch and come back up. That's perfect. If you want, you can also add a placket, which is what I'm doing now. So, but I've already made a video on how to attach a placket. So basically, you see what I did here. This side has about 1.5 and this side maybe more than a little over 4 inches here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn this one in here like this. And then I'm going to take this one here and overlap it, cover it this way. And then I'm going to have something that looks like a placket. It depends on you what you want. If you want still, you can just tuck this in this way, stitch it on top. This is just so that it gives this part a clean finish, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and finish it up so that we can come back and put in the collar. So guys, this is what we have at the moment. You see, it's flapping over this way. So next thing I'm going to do is to finish up the collar part. So I'm going to set this aside so we can calculate what we need for the collar. Remember when we started, we had something that looked like this, right? Our neckline, and then we had the shoulder coming down this way, right? This is our basic bodice pattern. This is what it would look like normally before we cut off the haltered part. And this would have been your 1 inch of back neckline, like how we normally use 1 inch for the back neckline and then 3 inches for the front neckline going down. So you're going to calculate the curve you have here, and then you're going to calculate the curve you have here. So let me place my tape now and calculate what I have here. Place it from the beginning to the end. So it's about 3.5. So guys, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, once I've measured the back collar, which what I got for it was 3.5. For the front collar, because I'm using this placket, I'm going to need to consider that too. But if you're not using placket, then you can just go ahead and also calculate what you have exactly here. Like let's say you just turned it over inside, then you just have to just measure what you have here and add the two of them together. But since I'm using this placket thing and there's this extension here, I have to measure it directly on the cloth. So I've already measured the back and it's 3.5 for the neckline. What I'm going to do is place my tape again and measure what I have on this side, which is going to be about 5 inches. And then I'm going to measure what I have again on this other side, which is going to give me about 5.5. So I have 5.5. So what I have to calculate now is the back. So I'm going to start, I have 5 on this side, 5.5 on this other side. Then for the back, I'm going to need times 2 of this, remember, because this is the back side, and the back you're supposed to have this curve going over on the other side for the two sides, because this is the two sides of the front, one for this side, one for this side. But we already have what the back would be, which is 3.5. So that is going to be times 2 of this, right? So I'm going to now calculate this together. So this is going to be 5 plus this plus this. So guys, that means my collar length is going to be 17.5. That is 5 for this side, 5.5 for this side, and then 3.5 into 2, that's times 2 of it for the back. So that's going to be 17.5. So I'm going to open this up now and make sure that I have up to 17.5 for my collar. You see, so it fits in here. I've already closed up this side, so let me mark on this other side now, and then I'm going to also close up this other side and tuck it in, and then we can join it. So guys, this is the collar I'm working with. You see, I've closed up this edge also, and all I have to do now is to form my collar, right? So I'm going to take one side like this, tuck in 1/2 inch on the edge this way, and place this. You're going to need to start from the edge, place this inside of this and sew it down until you get to the very tip here. You're going to also do the same thing on this other side. So guys, you see what I was saying? You need to start from one side, sew all the way to the tip here. Do the same thing on the other side, sew all the way to the tip here. Now you see I have this center part open here, right? Because there's no back collar that would have fit inside of this part. So what I have to do is just close it all the way to the other end. So I'm just going to close this up and then just stitch it all the way using that 1/2 inch I used to tuck it in, but just close it on itself. So guys, this is basically the top here. You see everything is done. You see the back is open, the collar is just going to lay on your neck like this. Guys, this is a very simple top you can make. If I was making this in Ankara now and I feel like this fabric would be too, like I can't wear it, all I have to do is just to put a zipper facing downwards here, like use this my seam allowance, 1 inch of seam allowance here, put a zipper here. I can even make this in form of a dress, you understand? I can make it like a continuous bodice with a dress. It can be a flare dress, it can be anything you want. So you see the back here, so see the back, everything is done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you understood everything I said, and I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please subscribe to the channel, like and leave a comment. Thank you so much, and bye.